Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
Is it possible to have an unconditional love for somebody? If you fall in love with somebody, can that love be unconditional, do you think? Which, again, many would say is the essence of true love.
Yeah, I would say yes, you could have an unconditional love for somebody. And that's you could actually have an unconditional love for somebody in that you don't really want anything the equivalent of what you're giving out. So you don't want the equivalent of it. You want some sort of, something back, but not in the same proportion in which you're giving. So yeah, in that way, I think so.
So a love then is possible with no boundaries. You wouldn't expect any boundaries on your partner. Your love is unconditional. So whatever they do, they can go outside of any boundaries, but it's unconditional really means they can do anything and you will still give them your love. Is that what you're saying?
No, unconditional means there is no expectation of of something of the same value back from them. I think that's the unconditional. So say for instance, in monetary terms, if you're giving this person £10,000 and they're not even able to give you £1, you'll be all right with it. You're quite happy to share that with them. But then what you're trying to, or what you're implying is, the boundaries. In everything in life, there's got to be boundaries, isn't it? There's got to be boundaries in everything in life. So love should have a boundary. There should be. Otherwise, it'd be chaotic, wouldn't it? It'd be like, oh, so I saw this guy on the street and I like him just like I like you, so I brought him home.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't tolerate that, would you?
Exactly. Yeah. So there's got to be boundaries in it. But the boundaries has to be set. You see, it has to be set. So the boundaries won't just exist in any relationship, and that's why it differs from relationship to relationship. That's why you have people that are quite happy, for their wife to do whatever, and they're happy with that. And there are men that would, mere looking at their wives would, be wanting to pick a fight with you. What are you looking at my wife like that for? So the boundaries has to be set. But how early on in the relationship should the boundary be set? I don't know.
And of course, boundaries in a way does mean that it's not unconditional love, doesn't it? There are conditions to that love, conditions that any boundaries you've agreed on, like you don't go out with an ex-partner or something like that.
Yeah.
That must mean it's not strictly unconditional love. What about do you think jealousy in a relationship is proof of love or obsession, neediness, insecurity? What would you say? Is it proof of love or insecurity?
Right. Okay. So, jealousy is, I think, to an extent, is proof of love. Right. To an extent, and I've never met any woman that would not agree with that. I've never met. I'm not saying there aren't women that would not agree with it, but I've never met any woman that would say, well, actually, you can't be jealous. Because so jealousy is part of love. But it depends, doesn't it? It depends. If the jealousy becomes controlling, then we have a problem. You know, if the jealousy becomes controlling, if the jealousy starts to dictate, you know, what a person should wear, whose joke they should laugh at or not laugh at. Who they can give a hug, not give a hug to, then there's a problem there, isn't it? So yeah, yeah, you have to be careful not to cross the line, don't you? You have to be. But I think there's a healthy amount of jealousy that should exist in a relationship. We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.